Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Hello and welcome back to another JumboCast broadcast of NCAA Division III basketball here at Tufts Cousins Gymnasium. Today we'll have a matchup between your Tufts Jumbos and the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. Tufts has seen a much better start to their season here than UMass, coming into this game 5-1 to UMass Dartmouth's 1-4. However, this matchup has gone back and forth in recent years, and anything could happen here today in Medford. I'm David Latham, and joining me on the mic is Riley Daniel. Riley, what's going to be a key to today's matchup for each team?
Yeah, I mean, normally when we do keys to the game, you start with the first key, but today we're starting with the 0th key, and that is number 0, Dylan Thorner. He has been so huge for this Jumbos team, averaging 15 a game, and he's hit double digits every game since January 15th against Amherst. After that, you got to look at the big guys winning the board battle. Tuesday, was the first time since opening night the Jumbos had not won the board battle, and as a result, it was their first loss. And then lastly, you got to look at turnovers. UMass Dartmouth, they win the turnover battles. Jumbos are negative on the turnover battle on the year. We'll see if they can improve that today.
Yeah, for sure, Riley. Good points. I think we're going to lead the anthem here in just a second. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cousins Gymnasium on the campus of Tufts University, Medford, Massachusetts, for today's Division III NCAA men's basketball conference matchup between the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth and your Tufts University Jumbos.
Yeah, Riley, so now as we're doing the starting lineups, I mean, we talked about that 1-4 start for UMass Dartmouth. They've been struggling. They haven't gotten a win since that first game against Conn College, and yet they're not really being outscored. A lot of close losses. They only have a -4 points margin. Right, and you saw that in their last game against Bridgewater State. Really tough 2-point loss. Jackson Zenkin had a chance at the line with 3 free throws to tie it up in the final second. Missed the second one, had to throw it off the backboard. They were so close to tying that game, sending it to overtime. So they've had a lot of frustrating close losses, and they'll try to turn that around here today.
Yeah, you mentioned Jackson Zenkin. He is the one to watch, especially if you're looking to hit the Jumbos where they've been weak in giving up 3-point attempts. Zenkin, the only member of the Corsairs shooting above 40% from deep on 41%. Then you look at their ball movement. They get 17 assists a game. They're beating the Jumbos on that. That's how they're going to have to win this game. They're going to have to slow it down, not let the Jumbos get out in transition, and try and just beat the Jumbos defense that has been so smothering at the start of the season.
Yeah, for sure. No, that ball movement aspect will definitely be big for them. They'll have to try to lock that down and not let them get any really good offensive sets. Now we're looking at some starting lineups. Calling out for your Jumbos, Dylan Thorner, number 0, Carson Cohen, number 10. Here's Tyler Aronson, senior, number 11. Bobby Stewart, sophomore, number 21. Nice little pat down there from Jackson Patton. And finally, number 25, Truman Giddings.
Yeah, it's something we've definitely seen. Brendan Linton last year was very, very willing to change his starting lineup depending on what the game needed. This year, not so much. Has not changed the starting lineup once.
Yeah, and I mean, they have been very flexible with substitutions, right? Assessing each guy's play in-game, flipping guys around. They've had big line change subs. They've thrown guys in based on how they're playing in the game. But you're right, that starting lineup has remained very consistent throughout the year.
I mean, I think it kind of shows, too, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Until the St. Joe's game, and for it being a 20-point loss, it was not a 20-point game. That game was a 8-point game with 4 minutes to go, and then the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
They've been right in every game. They won every game before that. This is a team that could very well contend for an SCAC title, for a national title. And right now, things are going very well here at Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned at the end of that St. Joe's game, a 15-0 run for St. Joe's. They'll try to turn that around here. And now bringing up the court is UMass Dartmouth. Dalen Sanders-Dyer with the ball. He'll swing it to Isaac Percy, back to Dyer. Sanders-Dyer, the fifth-year, dribbles over to Percy. Percy swings, sees Jackson Zenkin in the corner. And a travel will be called down around the baseline on John Martins Jr.
Yeah, good ball movement there from the Corsairs, but the Jumbos defense very alert to it.
Dylan Thorner bringing the ball up now. Isaac Percy guarding him. Swings, Carson Cohen has it. Stewart at the top of the lane. Thorner through his legs. Creates something, sees Stewart down. Nice pass to Gettings in the post, and he got it.
Yeah, that's something the Jumbos exploit time and time again, is Bobby Stewart's vision, Truman Gettings' vision, their ability to find the other cutting back door.
For sure. Isaac Percy now with the ball. Sees John Martins. Sanders-Dyer up top, deflected by Gettings.
Yeah, Truman Gettings, great hands there. He leads the Jumbos in steals. Has 9 on the year now, that's 10.
Yeah, rare to see from a big man, but as you mentioned, those good hands he gets in passing lanes and disrupts a lot. Stewart now up at the block. Thorner gets a screen. Sees Stewart in the post. Percy on him. Stewart with a nice turnaround finish. Isaac Percy draped all over him, and it's a good finish there. Dalen Sanders-Dyer brings it back down the court for UMass Dartmouth. John Martins Jr. driving to his right. Pulls up. No good. Gettings rebound.
Yeah,
Tufts
good
will move
job
the other
there.
way.
Closing out, getting that board, collecting. Jumbos going the other way.
Meanwhile, Aronson, mid-range jumper, battles around the rim, and it's good. Rim, backboard, rim, got it. Now he'll D up on Dalen Sanders-Dyer. Isaac Percy. Trapped down in the corner. Has to see Dyer up top.
Jumbo's bench wanted 3 seconds there, didn't get it.
Drawing contact, it's Dalen Sanders-Dyer, but he doesn't get it. Carson Cohen's rebound. Cohen sees a screen left from Gettings, doesn't want it, drives anyway. Nice strip by Dalen Sanders-Dyer. That's a great steal. Percy will bring it up now. John Martins. Jackson Zenkin, you mentioned that three-point shot, and it is good here. 1 for 1 from Jackson Zenkin.
Yeah, that's on Tyler Aronson. Zenkin was open for about 5 seconds. Aronson was late in rotation, and Zenkin made him pay.
Yep. And you have to know that's their most efficient shooter. You can't be letting him get a shot like that. Aronson now to Stewart again. Another nice pick-and-roll move, and he'll draw a foul on Theo Jadot.
Yeah, this is somewhere where the Jumbos really need to improve, as Stewart only shooting 37% from the free throw line. The team only shooting 62% from the line at all. Their biggest weak spot so far in this early season.
Yeah, that's something both these teams have struggled with. UMass Dartmouth also, I don't think, shooting a great percentage so far this year.
Nah, UMass Dartmouth only shooting 59 from the line.
Yeah. Both teams under 65% from the stripe. Stewart with the second shot now. He's been pivotal so far in the Jumbos pick and roll game, and he gets his second free throw to go. Dalen Sanders-Dyer up the court for the Corsairs. Jackson Zenkin up top. Swings it. Isaac Percy down to Theo Jadot. Wants a turnaround. Got it.
Yeah, that's good defense, just better offense there.
Yep, exactly. Hand in the face. That's a nice shot from Theo Jadot. Carson Cohen on the wing. Gettings comes up top to take it. Tyler Aronson dribbles to his left, draws contact, turnaround jumper, no. Stewart tips it, gets it. Back across, Carson Cohen way up top. Nice layup pass to Gettings. Won't get it to go, gets his own rebound. Little contact from Theo Jadot, and it's up and in.
Yeah, that's right there. That possession, emblematic of the Jumbo's size advantage. 2 offensive boards, 2 second chances, and they get it to go.
Yeah, they're going to need to find a way to battle out Bobby Stewart and Truman Gettings in the post if they want to collect more of those and keep those second chance options off the plate for the Jumbos. Carson Cohen driving. Sees Gettings, wants it to Stewart. Again, great ball movement in the post between Bobby Stewart and Truman Gettings, and they get another basket off of it. Galen Sanders Dyer. There's a foul on the baseline.
Yeah, great charge there from Carson Cohen. Jumbo's brought a little bit of a double team on Sanders Dyer. He tried to dribble through it, but you can't dribble through a double team.
Yeah, good swarming defense there by the Jumbos, and now Tia Henry will come in the game for Carson Cohen. Kai Champion coming in for Dylan Thorner.
Earlier subs than normal for Brendan Litton today. Normally doesn't make his first subs until about the 14-minute mark. Today going about 2 minutes early.
Yeah, and you notice he'll keep those 2 bigs in who've been playing so efficiently so far. But something of an errant pass there from Stewart to Gettings. Gettings will try to back down Zankin. He's got a few inches on him. No. Theo Jadot. Sanders Dyer now bringing it up the court. John Martins. Back to Sanders Dyer. In for Zankin. He'll try a post move. No. Back out to Dyer, and it's good. UMass Dartmouth with 2 consecutive threes. They're making that work so far, struggling to penetrate the inside of this Tufts defense, but the 3 ball is working. Theo Henry back outside, Howard Aronson. Wants a give and go, doesn't get it. Back out, Aronson. No 3-pointer. Doesn't have Stewart. Up to Theo Henry. Kai Champion driving to his left. Pulls it back. Sees Stewart. Wants Gettings using that size advantage once again.
That's the 3rd time today we've seen a big-to-big pass for an easy layup.
Yeah, over on that side of the ball, it has just been ground and pound right into the post almost every play. Meanwhile, this has been the story for UMass Dartmouth, another 3, but this one won't go for Jackson Zankin.
What a play there from Gettings to knock that ahead.
Champion wants a 3. Got it. Smooth as butter.
Yeah, that is a direct result of Truman Gettings putting in the effort, tipping that ball to Kai Champion, and forcing the Corsairs to call a timeout.
Yeah, you got to wonder what Coach Baptiste is saying to his guys in the huddle right now. They got some threes to fall. Their offensive sets look pretty decent. 10 points, 5 minutes in, but their defense needs work, especially in the post. So many times you saw that 2-on-1 play down to the post, pick and roll, all of a sudden you've got the advantage, 2 big guys, and that's an easy basket.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're telling them we need to find a way to stop Gettings and Stewart. Just looking at this, usage numbers, Bobby Stewart, 27%, Truman Gettings, 46%. They each have 6 points from the field, and they've combined, they are 6 for 8 from the field.
Yeah,
if that's going for the Jumbos, there's no way to stop this offense.
For sure, yeah. Extremely high paint efficiency so far for them.
Jumbo's going to bring the full court press here.
Champion on Martins. Dribbles to his right. Sees Percy outside. One dribble. Draws contact from Theo Henry. Goes up. No. John Martins swings outside. Now Percy wants a 3-ball. Off the iron. Collects his own rebound. And they're going to call another charge. Nice draw there from Theo Henry. You know that's a place he makes a difference. He can draw charges. Draws fouls on both ends of the ball. You know, strong driver, draws blocks as well. So that's a place he's had an impact so far this season, and we see it there on that play.
Yeah, interesting choice from Coach Linton. Both bigs come out. Chris Sports and Casey McLaren come in.
UMass Dartmouth in a full court press. They're trapping to the corner. So far it's effective. 2 sloppy passes already, but the Jumbos wind up with it in the set, and Casey McLaren gets a 3. Got it.
That's the risk of the full court press. If you break that first trap, there will be the open guy.
Yeah, and Casey McLaren is the last guy you want in the corner shooting that shot. 4 for 6 for Tufts in the last game. All his buckets on 3s. You know he's lethal from there. Inside, Martins. Gets your dribble. Can't get it to go.
That is a tough call on Chris Sports. I think they're going to get him for contact within the restricted area. It looked like his hands were straight up, but you cannot make contact if you're inside that circle.
Yeah, we didn't get to mention it, but Jackson Zane coming out of the game. In his stead, John Marcial, number 22. Meanwhile, Jay Dieterle comes up to the spot to sub in for the Jumbos. John Martin's first free throw is good off the iron.
Yeah, and you mentioned it at the start, the line change-esque substitution to Brandon Linton, as there is a 5 on the floor now that does not contain a single starter in it for the Jumbos.
Yeah, they use this entire lineup to have fresh legs all game, and that's been a major help for them all season. Theo Henry up top, Casey McLaren. Jay Dieterle now has it. Wants to move on John Martins, gets a pump fake, he drives. Oh, and it's blocked by Theo Jadot. Put back by Chris Ports, won't go, and UMass Dartmouth come the other way. Uncontrolled pass, Isaac Percy out of bounds. UMass Dartmouth getting a little bit too excited on the counter there. Isaac Percy wasn't ready for it from John Martins, bounces off the shoulder and falls out. Meanwhile, number 23, Nick Boyd, will come into the game, replacing John Martins.
Yeah, the focus of this Jumbos offense switching up a little bit without Gettings and Stewart, going from that kind of big centered pick and roll based action to more of a 5 out here. And surely that should have been a foul. I don't know how it wasn't. Theo Henry got whacked in the face as he's clearly gesturing to the referee.
Seems he agrees with you. But the Jumbos will take it out of bounds now. Forced to drop it off the boards. Champion around the outside. He's got Leonard on him. Wants Dieterle for a 3. It's another pump fake. Back out Leonard. Oh, sorry, Champion. And it's a 3. Leonard was on the defense. Champion,
great job there. Not just content making the pass, immediately respots and gets open for the 3.
But John Marcial on the other end with a quick response 3 for UMass Dartmouth. Both of these teams shooting very well from outside so far. On the Jumbo side, Champion has 2 now, McLaren with 1, and Marcial adds 1 to UMass Dartmouth tally, while Jackson Zankin comes out to go back into the game. Dieterle up top, the Champion. McLaren on the right. Henry drives to his right. Good block off by Nick Boyd on the baseline. He has nothing. Back out to Jay Dieterle. Defense by John Marcial. He's forced to swing it to the other end. Champion wants a pump fake. Pulls up from the mid-range. Perfect shooting so far from Kai Champion. He cannot miss.
Kai Champion is feeling it here.
Start the microwave. Over on the other end, Theo Jadot. Chris Port's giving him lots of space. Here's a drive from Jaquan Leonard. Wants a layup. No. Theo Jadot's rebound. Drew some contact, but no foul, and it won't go. Back the other way, it's Jay Dieterle. John Marcial on defense. Oh, and that one intended for McLaren in his corner spot. He loves so much, but a little high. Can't control that one. It'll go out of bounds, and UMass Dartmouth will bring it the other way.
Jumbo's going to make 2 subs. Stewart coming back in for Chris Sports, and James Marakis, the true freshman, going to get in, replacing Casey McLaren.
Another set of substitutions for the Jumbos. Nick Boyd up top. Jaquan Leonard driving to his left. Sees Boyd to his right. Gets a floater on Champion, won't fall. Marakis with a rebound. Gets a pick from Stewart. It's over to Dieterle in the corner. Swings Henry and can't control it. Slightly errant pass. Jay Dieterle, he had 2 guys open. Looked like he wanted another swing. Thought about it too quick. Theo Henry can't control it.
That baseline pass there is always there for the Jumbos if they drive right. And it's something UMass Dartmouth has to cut off because the Jumbos will hit that shot 9 times out of 10.
Yep. Up the Kai Champion, corrals it nicely. Great layoff pass to James Marakis for the trailer layup.
Yeah, that started with Bobby Stewart getting his hands up, intercepting that, sending Kai Champion on his way. And the Jumbos lead ballooning here.
Yeah, they've developed this 27-14 lead on a roll recently. UMass Dartmouth will need to slow it down. Looking to do so. Here's Jaquan Leonard. Drives to his right. Couple steps. No call. John Marcial with a nice finish on Stewart.
Yeah, nice finish and an even better back cut. Faking like he's coming out for the shot. Instead, cuts back door. Finishes with authority.
James Maracus on the other end can't get it. Yeah, John Marcial there. Nice back door. He's giving up a lot of inches and a nice finish.
Ooh.
Here on the other end, Jackson Zankin's drive. Drew some contact from Bobby Stewart, and they're going to call it a block.
Yeah, that's the right call. Stewart trying to move side to side, trying to not let him get around, but in the process clips him. That's something that definitely the Jumbos bigs have struggled with, is getting into foul trouble. Truman Gettings and Bobby Stewart have both fouled out on the year, and Stewart actually got into a lot of foul trouble against St. Joe's on Tuesday.
Yeah. Zankin now at the line, shooting 2. First one's good. Dylan Thorner will come in for the Jumbos, while number 35, Ryan Flatto, comes in for UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah, Dylan Thorner coming back in, a rare Dylan Thorner stat. Halfway through the first half, he has yet to hit the score sheet.
Yeah, you mentioned he hasn't been held to single digits a single time this year. In fact, I think since last January, he hasn't had a single-digit performance, so he's usually a guy they rely on for points all game, and he's come back into the game here looking to do that. Kai Champion up top. Theo Henry with it. Kai Champion on the wing. Tries to get a move on Marcial. Drives. Great drop-off pass to Henry, who has a tough reverse. Bobby Stewart rebound. Got it. Another second chance bucket for the Jumbos. Bobby Stewart carving out space in the lane and getting a nice putback.
Yeah, that comes again from the Jumbos off-ball movement. Theo Henry making the nice cut. Allows Stewart to come right in for that offensive board.
Yeah, Sanders Dyer here. Champion wanted travel, looks like, didn't get it. Nick Boyd up top. See Sanders Dyer. Oh, that's Jaquan Leonard.
Yeah, UMass Dartmouth takes a page out of the Jumbos book there with that weak side backdoor cut.
Mentioned Sanders Dyer there by accident, but he's still on the bench. He usually plays over 30 minutes a game, so surprising to see him not in the game this early. Jaquan Leonard, though, playing pretty decent in his stead while the Jumbos miss a layup. John Marcial up the wing. Oh, and he dribbles it off his foot. Couldn't quite control it. It'll go out, and Tyler Aronson and Carson Cohen will come in for the Jumbos.
And Gettings going to go back to what looks to be the starting 5 for the Jumbos. We'll see. Right now, it looks as if they're almost using Dylan Thorner as a decoy in that corner just to get Zankin out of the defensive picture. Now they're going to switch off him. We'll see if Thorner does come and touch the ball. He does.
Carson Cohen in the wing. Jumbo spreading it around. Tyler Aronson, a nice drive, has nothing. Good defensive pressure there from UMass Dartmouth. Over on the wing, Thorner jabs to his left. See Stewart up top. One dribble. Draws a little bit of contact, but it's no call, and he can't get the layup to fall. Nick Boyd will bring it back the other way.
Yeah, I like that no call. Hands were up.
Yep. Yeah, he drew contact, but he never came down with the hands, stayed upright. And meanwhile, Leonard now swings outside. Zankin wants a 3-ball. Got it. They have been very efficient so far from 3. That's been a bright spot in their performance.
Yeah, if I'm Linton, I'm getting Bobby Stewart off of him. He does not have the foot speed to stay with Zankin. He turns to face the inside and loses track of him for half a second.
Bobby Stewart now with a nice finish on Jackson Zankin. He wants that matchup on that side of the floor. He has the height, but as you mentioned, they might need someone who can play better perimeter defense on the other end.
Yeah, Bobby Stewart becomes the first Jumbo to hit double digits. He's got 10.
Yeah, great performance from him so far. Zankin wants to lay up, can't get it. Aronson's rebound. UMass Dartmouth trying to add a little bit of post size and height with Ryan Flatt on the court so far, but Tufts still having their way in there. While Dylan Thorner pulls up. You mentioned him not being on the board. Well, that comes to change pretty quickly. That's a nice 3-ball. John Marcial.
I'll tell you what, David, it's been quiet, but the Jumbo's offense is humming. They have 34 points in 14 minutes here.
Well, it hasn't been super big play basketball, but they're getting every kind of bucket that you can in this game. I mean, they're hitting threes, they're hitting mid-rangers, they're pushing it in the post. Just moving along at a very nice clip while Dylan Thorner gets the steal. Dribbles it, sees Aronson, crosses over, pull up mid-range. Oh, and it's around the rim and out. Jackson Zankin with a nice box out there on Gettings. Jake Leonard now sees Flauto. Nice little move on Stewart, gets a little bit of contact from the shoulder, pulls up and gets a nice layup to go. Carson Cohen wants to come back the other way for the Jumbos.
Yeah, you can see Bobby Stewart talking to himself. He's frustrated, thought that he got pushed off on. Thorner comes off the pick beautifully.
And you mentioned Thorner, and once again, Thorner quiet start. You said 2 quick Thorner buckets. He's already got 5.
Yeah, that's the commentator jinx in a good way, I guess.
In a good way. You just start saying that more often. Jake Leonard back outside. Zankin wants another 3. He has been absolutely automatic from 3-point range. He looks exhausted. Hands on his knees, but he has been doing everything he can to keep his UMass Dartmouth team alive so far. 4 3 balls from him so far, I believe.
I believe that is
3 or
his
4?
third
3.
He's taken 4. He's 3 for 4 from deep.
75%. That's...
And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Truman Gettings and Bobby Stewart, they're great interior defenders. They do not have the foot speed to stay with Zankin on the perimeter and prevent him from getting those open 3s.
Yeah, and you've seen the way they've been getting him those 3s is driving into the post, making the Tufts defense collapse a little bit. He's been staying out around that 3-point line, knowing they want him for that pass back out, and so far that has been one of the things that has worked best for this UMass Dartmouth offense.
I mean, looking at stats a little bit here in this timeout, the big difference in this game, it's field goal percentage. UMass Dartmouth, they're shooting well. They're shooting 50% from the field. The Jumbos are shooting 58% from the field. That is almost unheard of at this level.
Yeah, no, definitely a very efficient shooting performance so far from the Jumbos.
And the other thing we mentioned going into this game was turnovers. UMass Dartmouth wins the turnover battle normally. Jumbos have lost it most games. Right now, UMass Dartmouth with 7 turnovers. The Jumbos have held themselves to only 3.
Yeah, that's definitely been a key for Tufts so far. Stewart up top, Aronson. Once again, the starting lineup in for Tufts. Carson Cohen drops it off to Stewart. Doesn't want the handoff. Outside, Cohen, it's a fake. Goes baseline on Boyd. Nice swinging pass to Gettings. There's contact. Is that?
I think they're
looked like before the shot while he was trying to get into the post there.
I think they call him a gather.
Yep. Yeah, it looked like he was getting contact as he caught the ball long before he went up with it. So, meanwhile, steal for UMass Dartmouth, Nick Boyd. And a steal the other way for Carson Cohen. Quick ping pong back and forth. Aronson will have to see Cohen up top.
They have Gettings with a mismatch.
They call the foul on the floor. Nick Boyd wanted that low steal before Gettings could really control it. Caught a little bit of arm, and honestly, that's a foul they're happy to give up before Truman Gettings gets an easy layup.
Yeah, that was basically, I'll take the foul to save the 2 points.
Yeah, and that's a smart decision there from Nick Boyd. Meanwhile, Tyler Aronson, he's been looking so comfortable on that pull-up mid-range, and he does it again. Boyd up top to his left. Isaac Percy wants a 3, no. Flauto with the rebound, dribbles in to Stewart, got nothing. Stewart just stood there. The contact made him lose it, and now the Jumbos have the ball. Thorner sees Stewart trailing. Drop off for Cohen. 3 doesn't want it. Oh, he's pressured to the corner, dribbles back down the baseline. Sees Gettings in the corner, he wants a 3 ball. Yeah, way long from Truman Gettings, but as you mentioned, that's that baseline pass they love to set it open. I mean, that's a shot they want, but.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Jumbos defense just continuing to be smothering. That's the 10th turnover they've forced in this first half.
Sanders Dyer back into the game now. Swings it over to Leonard. Leonard up top, Flauto. Doesn't want a 3, Bort's way off him. Sanders Dyer now. Over to John Martins, 3 ball, no. Back out to Sanders Dyer, 1 quick dribble. Oh, and that's a good drop-off pass for Isaac Percy, but the Tufts bigs are right back on it. Wow, John Martins, a great 3 ball. And that's what you gotta do, because if you're Isaac Percy and you're standing there in the post, and Chris Bortz, Truman Gettings, and Dylan Thorner all have their hands up around you, that's not a layup you want to go up for. He makes a smart decision going out to John Martins for that three.
Yeah, well, that's the Jumbos not getting the defensive rebound and it costing them. 2 times they had a chance to corral the board to go the other way. 2 times Percy got the rebound, and Dartmouth scored.
Yeah, and they've been forcing the Tufts defense to collapse as well. That's what's giving them those threes. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's Isaac Percy. Daquan Leonard. There's a foul called on Aronson. I guess he saw him with the hands out.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of contact. I was more interested in down low there. Looked as if there was a bit of a kind of clear out against Chris Boards, and I thought they were going to get the offensive foul there.
Yeah, but we'll stay on this end of the court. Tufts lead now, drawn down to 7 points. This is very much a game. Theo Jadot up top. Jaquan Leonard doesn't want a floater, wants Jadot instead. Can't get the layup. Theo Henry holds on to it. Henry dribbling, keeping an eye on his back. Pulls back to slow down, sees Truman Gettings. Truman Gettings tried to get out of the way, but that is a nice draw from Isaac Percy.
I do not like that call. I thought Isaac Percy was moving side to side.
I don't know, Riley.
I say when you got a 6'9" guy with the Euro, you give it to him. You don't call the offensive foul.
It was a close call. Gettings tried to get out of the way, but I thought Percy set himself up pretty well outside of the restricted area. Drew out of contact. It'll go the other way.
The double picks there for the Corsairs.
Up top, Sanders Dyer wants another 3-ball where they've been so good. He can't get it. They're going to call a hold. I guess John Martins was going up for the rebound.
Yeah, pretty clear. Kai Champion grabbed him.
Yep. And instead, John Martin went for a nice play there. You saw him try to slap the ball off the Jumbo's defender, but he said he was being held. Doesn't count for anything anyhow. They keep the ball. Up top, it's Sanders Dyer.
Whistle blown. Unclear what the call is.
Coach Linton seems to like it. Maybe just trying to get his team back motivated after a call he doesn't like.
I think there was a scoreboard malfunction, as I think the call. I think they reset the shot clock to 30 when it should have been reset to 20.
Martins up top. Wants Percy to come up for it. John Martins dribbles to his right. There's a call on Theo Henry. I guess they want a blocking foul. He was shifting, drew a lot of contact. On the floor, though, John Martins was on the drive before he got up for the shot.
Yeah, John Martins been someone kind of a bit of a revelation here in this first half. Big off the bench for the Corsairs.
Tyler Aronson with a great defensive play to keep it away from Bryson Andrews. Back out. Theo Henry wants a 3-ball. Got it.
That's what being seniors will do. Theo Henry knows Aronson's going to cut middle, knows to relocate to the corner, knows he'll get the shot, and hits it.
Yeah, both teams with great three-point shooting night so far. As Theo Henry makes a nice steal off Aronson's hustle play, comes the other way, drew a lot of contact on Isaac Percy, and there's a late whistle.
Yeah, Corsairs bench not happy, but there was a little too much contact for that not to get called. Now, I'll tell you what, one thing I don't like is that does not get called if that goes in, and I don't agree with that. Like, if it's a foul, call it as a foul. If it's not a foul, don't call it. It shouldn't depend on whether or not the basket goes in.
Yeah, no, it was a fairly late call. Theo now will get his first shot to go. Casey McLaren and Bobby Stewart into the game for Dylan Thorner and Truman Gettings.
Yeah, Truman Gettings, Dylan Thorner, big first half for both of them. Thorner only 5 points, but has been really good at shooting 66% from the field. And Truman Gettings with 6 points and, I believe, a couple assists, a couple rebounds. Been everywhere in this first half.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the UMass Dartmouth side, Dalen Sanders Dyer comes out of the game. They'll push it now with John Martins. Bryson Andrews drives into the post. Wants a layup. Blocked by McLaren, but there was a lot of contact. Came crashing down to the floor. I don't know if they want it from behind on Bobby Stewart. Nope. Fouls on McLaren.
Yeah, I think they're going to say he got the man before he got the ball on the block.
Okay.
It's a good, strong drive there.
Yeah, nice drive there from Bryson Andrews. He'll take it out of bounds.
Feeling the ill effects of Casey McLaren's block.
Oh, it's a shooting foul. Yeah, that makes sense. shaking his hand a little bit. Bryson Andrews.
James Maracas going to check in here, replacing Tyler Aronson. Jumbo's going to run with the 4 subs, and Bobby Stewart probably to end out this half.
Yeah, 3 minutes to play. Bryson Andrews gets his second one to fall, which he does not. Okay, well, it'll stay a 10-point game. Jumbo's 42, UMass 32. Henry drives to the right.
Yeah, this is a big last 3 minutes in
Champion.
terms of the momentum of this game.
For sure. McLaren, pump fake. Back to Henry. Maracas got it on the wing. Drives to his right. Back outside. Champion wants another 3-ball. Oh, and he'll get one. That one will not go for him.
Yeah, he had McLaren in the corner, decided to take it himself, just couldn't get it to fall.
Both of those guys shooting very well so far. This game and this season. They're 2 guys they want with the ball outside the 3-point line. Isaac Percy drives. Bryson Andrews up top. Dribbles back to his left. Sees Percy. Had Leonard for a second on the drive, didn't see it. Martins Jr. now will take it. A high vaulting jumper on the baseline. Won't go. Theo Henry draws some contact. Wants Champion on the outside. He's trying to avenge that missed 3. Can't get it. McLaren's board off a bouncing body. Out to Henry. Jumbo's reset. Henry driving to his left. Oh, and he took a lot of steps without actually going up with it.
Yeah, we saw it in back-to-back possessions there. Just how these teams drive and kick differently. The Corsairs come, they drive, get to the free throw line, and kick out to the wing. Jumbos, on the other side, they look to drive and go to the opposite corner for that open 3. Neither worked out, but it's interesting to watch going forward, see how the teams can adapt to it defensively.
Jaquan Leonard now sees John Marcial. He had a nice finish earlier. Outside, Bryson Andrews. Pass bounces off 2 bodies, won't go. It'll come the other way.
Yeah, the problem with that pass is he tried to pass it through Bobby Stewart, and that's just not going to work.
That's not going to work out for you too often. Unfortunately, bounces right back into his hands, bobbles around a little bit and goes out. Theo Henry coming the other way. James Maracas. Fakes the pass up top. Nice defense from Bryson Andrews. Drives on him back and forth what seems like 4 times. Ends up with the ball back and gets it to go. Not exactly the smooth, fundamental bucket you want, but hey, a bucket's a bucket. Meanwhile, on the other end, Casey McLaren's board off a missed John Marcial 3. Kai Champion dribbles to his left, back to his right. Nice little move. Oh, and that's a great finish from Kai Champion.
Come on! You cannot be that smooth.
That is saucy. Around the back, and finish in his face. Meanwhile, on the other end, Jaquan Leonard. Isaac Percy. Oh, and wow, talk about nice finishes. That one,
Jumbo's
also a nice turnaround.
can probably hold for the last shot here. What they don't want to do is, for the purposes of getting the last shot, take a bad shot. They want to make sure they get a good look on this possession.
Theo Henry, Bryson Andrews, he's been playing tight one-on-one D so far. Kai Champion dribbles to his left. Oh, that is not what they wanted.
No, and that is a big turnover as it allowed the Corsairs to get the last shot and maybe even cut this to a single-digit game going to the half.
And they have a comfortable 11 seconds to do it. Jaquan Leonard driving. He's got up top.
Now you
Champion
got to bring
on
the
him.
trap with 3 seconds. Bring it.
Drop off Theo Jadot. Can't get this mid-ranger to fall. At the half, your Tufts Jumbos leading 46-34 against the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. Riley, any thoughts so far?
Yeah, for sure, David. I think in terms of what we wanted from the bigs, we've seen it. Gettings and Stewart looking the best they've looked all season, but a little bit of a down first half from the senior leadership. Looking at Theo Henry, Aronson, and Dylan Thorner, a combined 9 points from the 3 of them in the first half. That's just not going to be good enough to win basketball games. It might be enough to beat this UMass Dartmouth team, but when we get to January and we get to NESCAC play, it ain't going to be enough.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, I mean, the Jumbos rely on having such a long depth chart. I mean, we've seen this in a bunch of games. Those guys will perform well, and then when they don't perform well, guys like Kai Champion and already with a couple 3 balls and a nice couple finishes. So.
Yeah, I mean, stay tuned in the second half, see who steps up in the second half for the Jumbos, and see if they can close out the Corsairs here on JumboCast.
Talk to you soon.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Hello and welcome back to the JumboCast broadcast of this men's Division III basketball game between the Tufts University Jumbos and the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. So far, Tufts has opened up a 46-34 lead. We talked a lot in the first half about the dominance they established in the post early, especially with Bobby Stewart, number 21. I mean, so far he's leading or tied for the lead in every major stat for the Jumbos. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's been everywhere so far. We talked about the keys to the Jumbos lead in the first half, but Riley, what does UMass Dartmouth have to do to get back in this game?
I mean, I think you saw it at times when they went on runs. It's got to be from the outside. You look at Jackson Zankin, you look at Marcel, you look at John Martins Jr. Those are big names. And then the one name who hasn't showed up on the score sheet but has really showed up in a big way, Jaquan Leonard, the only Corsair who's gotten major playtime today who is positive in plus-minus. If he's on the floor, good things can happen as he's here guarding Dylan Thorner off the inbounds.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I mean, he's yet to get a bucket, but you can't underestimate his impact. I mean, he's been setting up plays. He's been a leader on the defensive end. He's been a major player so far, despite what the stat sheet might say. Here for the Jumbos, Stewart. Outside, Cohen has the ball. The usual starting lineup in for Tufts. Bobby Stewart backing down on Theo Jadot. Nice steal by Dalen Sanders. Dyer brings it up the court. Isaac Percy dribbles across. Nice pump fake. Outside, Leonard. Nice drop-off pass to Jadot. Drew some contact, but got the layup anyways. Wasn't called. Now here the other way. Carson Cohen. He's guarded by Sanders Dyer. Power Aronson swings to Gettings. Cohen got the mid-ranger.
They try to switch under that screen, and that's not going to work against Carson Cohen.
Dalen Sanders Dyer with the ball now. Didn't get the kind of playing time we're used to seeing from him in the first half. Only played 8.5 minutes. Usually plays 30 a game. So we'll see if he's plays a bigger role here in the second half. Isaac Percy draws some contact from Cohen and gets the layup. Another nice inside finish from the Corsairs. And now it's a 10-point Jumbo lead. Carson Cohen calling out to his teammates, trying to set something up here. Leonard comes up to defend him high. Gettings. Thorner gets a wide-open mid-ranger, and he knocks those down.
I mean, that cannot happen if you are the Corsairs. You cannot let Dylan Thorner come unguarded off a back pick and get the ball at the free throw line. There's only ever going to be one outcome.
And it looks like Isaac Percy going to the side now. He's touching his face after that defended layup.
Yeah, the refs actually asked him to leave the floor because of hygiene issues. I believe he's bleeding, and so under NCAA rules, you have to leave the floor.
Yeah, so John Marcel will come in for him now while Aronson gets a nice block. Gettings, drop off to Thorner. Sees Aronson, dribbles. Sanders Dyer on him, 11 on 11. Outside, Thorner swings to Cohen.
Thorner
Leonard
wants it,
up.
you know it. He's got the mismatch.
Something of a weak pass to Thorner. Marcel gets a hand on it, but Tufts retains possession. Aronson wants a three ball, wants contact, won't go. Outside, Thorner, and a nice tip-off by John Marcel. Leonard coming the other way, doesn't want a three, down to Jadot. A little bit of contact from Gettings. Leonard wants a screen, no, back down to him.
Yeah, and twice during that possession, they missed a wide-open John Marcel in the corner.
Yeah, and I mean, he was 1 for 1 in the first half. He didn't get a lot of chances from three, but the one he did, he knocked it down. 7 points, he's their second leading scorer. Good first half performance from him.
Yeah, it looks as if the Corsairs are trying to stall, trying to get Isaac Perry back in this game as soon as possible.
Zankin now drives on Gettings, gets a little contact. That's a nice finish.
Yeah, he's been really impressive, been good from the outside, and then the ability to just body Truman Gettings, who is not a small fella.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned good from the outside. That's actually his first bucket that's not a three so far. Trying to expand that all-around game. Meanwhile, down to Gettings, and it'll come the other way. That Gettings-Zankin lineup turns into a layup for the Jumbos.
Yeah, it's hard to state how unusual that is, where Dylan Thorner set the pick for Gettings, who then rolled and got the pass from the other big.
Meanwhile, Zankin, that three-point shot we're talking about, can't get it to go. Aronson has Marcel behind him, drops off to Thorner, bobbling around a little bit. Stewart now, on him, try to back in, look for something. It's a pump fake. Great finish by Bobby Stewart with the left.
Yeah, Stewart gets rewarded there. They didn't find him, but he was flying down the court in transition and gets the basket to reward him for his effort.
And he's been doing that all night. Jadot now. I don't look at a mid-range. He had one of those earlier.
Yeah, they're going to get Aronson with this hand grab there.
Jake Von Leonard will take it out of bounds now. Underneath the basket. To the corner, it's Marcial. Up top, Sanders Dyer. Doesn't want the screen from Jadot, but a nice swing pass to him. Gets up in the air, draws some contact, won't go. Cohen the other way. Swings to the corner. Aronson doesn't want a three. Pulls it back up top. Mid-range, no, doesn't go for it. Sees Cohen. Good defense up top from Sanders, Dyer, and Leonard. Over to Thorner. That's a great backdoor pass. Draws the contact from Zankin and finishes anyway.
Yeah, Bobby Stewart, eyes in the back of his head, knowing exactly where Dylan Thorner's going.
Yeah, and usually he's 4 assists now. I think he leads the team in assists. Usually not a contribution you expect from a big, but that is the role he's been playing so far tonight.
Flying down the court again is Stewart.
He collects it in the post now. Dribbles, fakes a pull-up. Once again, sees Gettings on a back door. And this time, can't control it. It'll go the other way. But that is a play they have looked to a lot. Bobby Stewart collecting it to the low post, turning around. There's a guy either flashing back door on the baseline or coming from up top. And he's been seeing that for layups, so not surprising to see him go for it again there.
Yeah, it's something we've not seen in a Jumbo's offense in a long time. In the Luke Rogers years, they did not use the big guys as the passers.
Stewart will go out now for Casey McLaren. Well, Dalen Sanders Dyer brings it up the court.
Yeah, Theo Henry also in for Carson Cohen.
Sanders Dyer now dribbling around, looking for an option. He sees Leonard swinging around the outside. Leonard wants a pull-up jumper. No. Dylan Thorner board. Thorner scanning, driving instead. Henry, 3-ball. No. Rebound Jadot after it bounces around. Leonard will push the other way. Aronson's the only thing left. Pushes him to the outside. Nice defensive play. Percy trailing. He got the layup, but I think they're going to call a foul before the shot on the floor.
They're going to grab Aronson with the hand check. I think that's his either third or fourth there.
Yeah, and you talk about that foul trouble he's in. Now he'll go out. Ty Champion comes in while Jay Dieterle subs in for Thorner.
Jumbo's got lucky there that the ref was counting players as they had let Marcial open in the corner.
Nice block from McLaren. It'll bounce out off Jadot. Immediate impact on the defensive end from Case McLaren after coming in. That's a nice block.
And I believe that the coach of the Corsairs just got teed up.
Yeah, Coach Baptiste there. I don't know what he saw they didn't like, but
yeah, he did get teed up. And when you're trailing by 16, getting teed up, not necessarily going to help your team.
yeah, and as Champion goes to the line now, UMass Dartmouth players huddling at half court, trying to figure out what needs to change here if they want to get back into this game. Someone with a slightly obnoxious cough in the corner here.
Yeah,
and,
some UMass Dartmouth fans.
Got a little something caught in the throat there. Well, this time it's a sneeze, but Champion less distracted by that one. I guess you probably want to go back to coughing.
Yeah. You know, someone should write a paper about the strategies of different distraction techniques.
Which faked illness causes the most missed free throws?
Jumbo's ball up by 17 here.
Dieterle, intense pressure from UMass Dartmouth. Marcial yelling he's got him up top. Again, pressure in the corner.
They got to get it over.
This is working. Oh, wow.
Ooh, yikes.
Leonard got it off of Henry and swung to Marcial, but I think they want
I think they're going to get Henry with the foul first.
That was a nice defensive set from UMass Dartmouth. I mean, that pressure up top was working for them. You saw Marcial up top swinging back and forth. with Leonard was able to build that pressure in the corner for them. They're pressuring guys to the corner. Tufts couldn't break it down, and now they'll go the other way.
Yeah, Theo Henry had a chance. So did Dieterle to get it over. It would have required a nice touch pass, but I think they could have made it. But they tried to dribble through the press, and that's just not going to work.
Sanders Dyer up top. Sees Leonard. Isaac Percy back in the game. Wants another swing hook. This one won't go. Jay Dieterle. Dieterle to his right. Goes back to defending him up top. Theo Henry. McLaren in the corner, doesn't want it. Getting calling for it in the post, but Jadot mans him up top. Henry drives. Out the champion. Wants a pull-up jumper. No.
Yeah, but a great set there for the Jumbos. Champion using that play.
Another Dalen Sanders Dyer. Nice drive there. Did a little bit of a pull-up top Euro. I think he wanted that call on the shot by continuation, but the ref will call it once again an on-the-floor driving foul for the Jumbos.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Sanders Dyer there.
Yeah,
it looked like there wasn't any contact until he went up.
It looked like he was moving into the shot motion, but I think the ref wanted the foul on his move, and instead let us take it up. Swings to Marcial, doesn't want it. Dalen Sanders Dyer, pump fake. Nice drive by him and a great layoff pass to Theo Jadot. That is a great play by Dalen Sanders Dyer.
Yeah, he got rid of that ball, got it back, went around 2 defenders, and got rid of it again.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw that agility and quickness on the drive, and then high IQ play to lay it off.
Once again, Theo Henry is trying to dribble through a press and just gets over the timeline.
Yeah, and he has to back him down. Sanders Dyer quick with the hands, and Tufts setting up now against smothering UMass Dartmouth defense. Kai Champion dribbling.
And Champion gets bailed out with a foul call there. Little too much heads down dribbling for the Jumbos. If I'm Coach Linton, I'm thinking about calling a timeout, trying to just get my team back to the fundamentals here.
Well, it looks like what he's thinking about is a major line change type of substitution after those couple plays. Maracas into the lineup. And going out is Henry, Dieterle, and Champion. So now we're looking at McLaren, Aronson, Gettings, Cohen, Maracas.
Yeah, we'll see if Taylor Aronson can heat up. He's been kind of quiet today.
Oh, and there's a quick 3-ball from Carson Cohen to get the Jumbos back on track. Now it's an 18-point lead. Sanders Dyer, nice dribble move, and that's a good finish.
Yeah, Sanders Dyer, the only thing going right for.
And they'll call a double technical on Tyler Aronson and Dalen Sanders Dyer under the paint. You saw a little bit of sort of chest pushing back and forth after the layup. Aronson went to take it out. Sanders Dyer was in his way. They started chirping at each other a little bit. They're going to call it double tech going both ways. Coach Baptiste doesn't like it. He's saying, what did he do? The ref comes up to talk to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it, but wow.
Once again, Aronson got tangled up this time with Leonard. They're going to the floor. Now he's talking again with Dyer.
Yeah, I know you just brought him in, but if I'm Linton, I'm getting him out of this game because Tyler Aronson is getting frustrated, and it could lead to some problems as now they're going to get.
There's another. I guess they're seeing on this pressure before the guys can break out. They're calling a holds once again on Sanders Dyer.
Yeah, that's 3 fouls that have been called while the Jumbos have been trying to get the ball inbounding.
Yeah.
0 time has gone off the clock.
John Martin's leading his team's press. This time they break it down. Maracas sees Aronson on the other end.
That's a great press break from the Jumbos there.
Yeah, and after those 2 calls, I think UMass just decided to lean off a little bit. You didn't see the same kind of intensity and pressure on that play that they've been applying for these last couple minutes.
And then another bad foul there by UMass on John Martins.
That one, I don't know. I mean, there's John Martin's putting his hands out saying he didn't reach in, but
problem is now the Jumbos are in the bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, and also, you know, the refs signaling to UMass Dartmouth that they can't play that sort of very physical, high-intensity defense that's been working for them these last couple minutes. Maracas dribbles in. Nice block by Theo Jadot. Gettings wants another one. This one goes. Another second chance point for the Jumbos on a nice little floater from Gettings.
Yeah.
Sanders Dyer up the court.
And now Truman Gettings going to join Bobby Stewart in the double digits for the Jumbos.
Sanders Dyer with a bucket and a yell. He liked that one. Nice finish by him. Marcus forced to throw a high lob pass. Cohen wants it. Swings corner. Casey McLaren. It's a fake. He does want the 3-ball, though. No. Theodot's rebound. The other way. Sanders Dyer trying to generate some momentum here. He's been a leader for them in the last few minutes. Isaac Percy through the legs. Trying to back down to Maracas. No, but they want to foul from behind on James Maracas.
Yeah, he hooked him from behind there as he was going up to shoot. And it's really been those two for the Corsairs in this second half. It's been Perry and it's been Sanders Dyer who have really kept them in this game. As Isaac Percy at the line for 2. Jumbo's going to sub out McLaren and Maracas. Thorner and Stewart back in as the Jumbos go back to the starting lineup. Maybe thinking that if they can get a nice run here, they can put this one out of reach and give some of their rotation players a little bit of a rest towards the end, knowing what they have in store tomorrow.
Yeah, big game tomorrow against Harvard. That should be, I mean, that's a big game for the Jumbos. At Harvard tomorrow, I mean.
Yeah, it's not often as a D3 school you get to play against a D1 team.
Yeah, that is not, that's a fun one. That's one, you know, you don't get to play every year, and our neighbors down the road there, that'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, and to say that you beat MIT and Harvard in the same year would be something special for this Jumbos team.
Yeah, but I will say, I mean, out of those two matchups, it's pretty clear which one is the more difficult one from a basketball perspective, and that is Harvard.
Yeah, though I don't know if Harvard's ever reassembled a police car on their roof, so MIT does have that going for them.
Okay, all right. The important things.
Speaking of games that are not on JumboCast, right now, women's basketball on the road. They're in Georgia for a doubleheader this weekend, today and tomorrow, but they will be back here on JumboCast against NYU on Sunday, next Sunday. And men's basketball will be back here on JumboCast next Saturday as both teams closing out their 2022 schedules in style.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great games coming up before the break. Those are the ones you're going to want to stay tuned for, and we're going to have them for you here at JumboCast.
Yeah, and you look, I mean, NYU coming in, they're number 2 in the country. The Jumbos women's team likely going to be ranked in the top 10 in the next rankings. And the men's team was 28th, so just outside of the rankings, likely after a good performance against St. Joe's, if they can win these 2 games this weekend, would likely find themselves ranked as well.
Yeah, and they got votes for top 25, so both teams with great starts to their seasons. Carson Cohen up top. There was a double from Percy and Marcial, but he'll swing it now. Thorner has it. Gettings up top. Drops back to Cohen, and they'll set up something offensively.
Yeah, they missed a wide open Tyler Aronson there.
Cohen to Thorner. Thorner wants to drop off from Stewart, but wasn't turned around yet. Theo Jadot gets in the way. Nice steal from him. Percy up top. Driving. Contact from Thorner. No good. And Theo Jadot manages to bounce it out to John Marcial, who'll get a nice jumper.
Yeah, and the Corsairs aren't going away.
They are not.
It was 17. They've brought it back to 12. Still plenty of time.
Yeah, just when the Tufts lead keeps, starts to balloon, looks like they could run away with it. They get a couple nice buckets to keep the game, keep it a game, really.
On cue, Dylan Thorner says, I'm going to give this lead a little bit more breathing room, and for what seems like the infinite straight game, gets to double digits.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost a given at this point, Dylan Thorner scoring 10-plus points.
Nice crossover and finish there from Percy.
Yeah, and after that quick scare with what we think was a bloody nose, they're happy to have him back on the court. Carson Cohen bringing it up, Percy on him. Dribbles to his right. Pulls up. Out of 3, didn't want it. Outside, Thorner does want it, and for good reason. Another 3-ball from Dylan Thorner. And he is heating up quick.
Dylan Thorner had no points at this point in the first half. Now, halfway through the second half, he's got 14.
Slightly sloppy pass there from Percy to Marcille. Bounces out of the hand, goes out of bounds. Now Zankin and Flato will come back into the game, replacing Percy and Jadot.
Yeah, I want to go back to something you mentioned at halftime, David, which is, as we go to the timeout, which is the Jumbos' just ridiculous amount of depth. The Jumbos only have 67 points, right? But they got 4 in double figures already. That's Dylan Thorner, Stewart, Gettings, and Kai Champion.
Yeah, and I mean, Thorner, the only senior on that list. You mentioned that when the seniors aren't having the great game that, you know, they often do, they're often huge players for this team, they have guys that can step up. A lot of sophomore guys filling bigger roles this year. You mentioned Gettings, Champion, Stewart. Those are all sophomores who, you know, they all played last year, but they've all assumed much bigger roles this year.
I mean, yeah, they played. Gettings got significant minutes.
Gettings.
Stewart and Champion did not play much last year. They really have stepped up. I mean, Stewart went from playing 42 minutes last season total to starting every game this season. And, well, Kai Champion looks like the second coming of Will Brady right now, the way he's shooting the ball. Jumbo lead 15. Halfway to go in the second half.
Thorner dribbles now, swings. Harrison wants a 3, won't go off the back iron. Cohen now hustling after the rebound, and he gets it. Back outside, Marcille on him.
Smallest guy on the floor gets the board.
Swings out. Stewart barely holds onto it. Sees Gettings backdoor. Zankin couldn't keep an eye on him. Had to keep the head on a swivel there. He didn't. Gettings gets a backdoor bucket.
Yeah, and that is Bobby Stewart's 6th assist on the day.
Yeah, he's really contributing in every facet of the game tonight. Or today, I guess it's like 1 o'clock. Flauto, rebound, drew contact and almost got it to go too, but it bounces out and he'll take 2 at the line.
Yeah, Stewart getting a call for that one.
That's now turn to 21 Bobby Stewart, his second, team 7. Ryan Flauto shooting 2.
Yeah, you mentioned Stewart's overall impact. He's been very efficient, too. 2 for 2 at the line, and he's gone 5 for 8 from the field, all amassing 6 boards, 6 assists. Gettings now pushes up to Aronson. Aronson to his right. Doesn't have anything. Barely got it to Gettings. It'll go the other way. Flauto and Zankin smothering on the inside.
Yeah, that's the problem with trying to do a jump pass when you don't have a necessary target in mind.
Almost rebound Aronson, and it winds up in the hands of Stewart.
Yeah, we might be getting swords triple-double watch for Bobby Stewart right now.
Thorner. Gettings. Cohen has it outside. Sees Stewart up top. Thorner dribbling to his right. Wants to finish on Zankin. Won't get it. Gettings another board. He's been showing up in the second half now. He has 12 as well. And he'll draw a foul there and go to the line.
Yeah. Gettings has 6 boards now. Doesn't get that one to fall.
Yeah, except for the assist point, Gettings and Stewart now with almost identical stat lines. Both with 12 points. Gettings will make it 13 and 7 and 6 in the rebounds category. Meanwhile, Leonard will bring it up the court. Cohen on him. Zankin dribbles to his right. Finds Bobby Stewart, comes out to help in the post, but Zankin draws a little contact with the shoulder and gets a nice finish.
Yeah, speaking of Zankin, for all he has been so efficient, so good on the offensive end, he has had a very quiet second half.
Yeah, and he's hoping that nice finish will start to heat it up. Leonard bring it down the court quick. Sees Martins, doesn't want a 3. Nice little fake. Draws a lot of contact from Stewart, and another nice finish by UMass Dartmouth in the face of much larger defenders.
Yeah, he got away with an extra step there, took advantage of it, got to the rack.
And it looked like he wanted a foul. Either way, great finish. Gettings on the other end. Swings by Flauto with looks like ease and finishes over Zankin. He'll have 15 now. Zankin up top. Leonard driving to his left. Doesn't have options. Swings it back up top to Zankin. Marcil down. Flauto wants to body Stewart, and it works. A nice little turnaround, sort of reverse floater layup hybrid sort of move, and he gets 2.
Yeah, they got the switch they wanted, took advantage of it. And they just refused to go away to the Corsairs.
Yeah, still a 13-point game.
And it's an offensive foul on Truman Gettings for the moving pick.
John Martin shouting out, let's go. He's trying to get his team hyped up. They're going to need to bring a lot of energy if they want to get back into this game. And they aren't going away, as you mentioned. Still a 13-point game.
And, well, we talked about it towards the end of the first half, how the Jumbos had been doing a good job of not committing turnovers. They had 4 at halftime. They now have 15. There's a reason this game is still close.
Speaking of turnovers, Theo Henry with a nice steal from behind on John Marcil. Dribbles to his right, has nothing. Back up top, Thorner. Dribbles to his right, has something, and it's a layup, and it's an and one. Draws contact from John Marcil. Thorner gets up above, lays it off the glass prettily for an and one play.
Yeah, when in doubt, give it to number 0 and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say at this point that we spoke way too soon about a quote-unquote quiet night, quote-unquote not too many points from Dylan Thorner here.
They tried the sneeze. They tried the cough. The yawn did not work.
That one sounded like a yawn. Yep. Dylan Thorner looked like he was yawning too. That free throw looked easy. Leonard bringing it the other way. It was to, oh, that's Leonard. Leonard drops it off to Percy, who gets contact from McLaren but doesn't go up.
Casey McLaren got away with 1.5
Sanders
there.
Dyer wants to pull up, and he's got it. That's a nice-looking jumper from Dalen Sanders Dyer.
That was a professional level shot from a professional level shot maker.
Theo Henry back outside. Champion dribbles. McLaren. Champion. John Martin's on him. Dieterle pulls up. Henry and Sanders Dyer battling for the rebound. It goes out of bounds off Henry last, and it'll come the other way.
Yeah, Coach Linton asking the question that I'm asking, which is, with the yank that we saw on Theo Henry's shoulder, how is there no foul called there?
UMass Dartmouth keeping a very close eye on the clock now. They'll let it roll up the court before picking it up. Sanders Dyer swings to Leonard, back to Sanders Dyer now, and he wants another jumper from around the same spot. A lot less success that time.
Yeah, it looks like the leg's just giving out a little bit for Sanders Dyer. He has played this entire second half.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big energy booster for them, and he had some great buckets early, but not what he was looking for in that jumper. Champion with Leonard on him tight. Swings to Henry, to his left. A little bit of contact, that baseline swing we talked about. Dieterle back out to Henry. Martins, though, not giving up, stays on him. Champion dribbles to his right. Oh, and that's a big block by Flauto.
Yeah, great block by Flauto, but look at that Jumbo's ball movement. That ball touched 4 hands in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, good moving around, but also the UMass Dartmouth defense really staying up top. I mean, there was never really a guy wide open despite that good ball movement, and Ryan Flauto finishes the play with a nice block. Champion pulls up. He's so efficient on that pull-up mid-range jumper.
Yeah, but that was really set. That play set up by Chris Bortz, setting for that screen, allowing Champion to flare off with the back pick and get the open elbow jumper.
Henry now on Sanders Dyer. That's a great swinging pass to John Martins, and he got it. That's the play that's been getting them points so far today. And it's set up by Dalen Sanders Dyer.
I think we have a bit of a scoreboard malfunction, as I think I counted 6 points being added to the scoreboard as we went from 77-61 to 77-67. The correct score is 77-64.
It looks like Jumbo's players pointing up to the scoreboard. 3 ghost points, then just show up unnoticed and then go back down to 77-64.
Henry makes the first half of the 1-and-1. Second leading free throw shooter last year for the Jumbos, shot 81% from the line.
Yeah,
you
he's
want to guess who
efficient.
bested him?
Who bested him, Riley?
Of course, number 0, Dylan Thorner.
Number 0, Dylan Thorner. Sanders Dyer now up the court. John Martin's nice pullback on Dieterle, but can't make it fall. Dieterle will bring it the other way. Martin's up on him to his left. Drew a little bit of contact. We know he gets that swing layup so much. Bobby Stewart there on cleanup crew.
Yeah, Bobby Stewart having himself a career night. That's 14 points, 8 boards, on the verge of a double-double here.
Meanwhile, on the other end, Ryan Flado tries to go up against him, doesn't get it. Stewart with a nice rebound and
What
a great
pass.
swing. Talk about doing everything in a play. Stewart, nice defensive effort, gets the board. Absurdly accurate sort of football, backhand, some kind of pass up the court, the Kai champion, who draws contact, and they'll take it out of bounds.
Giving me vibes of Nikola Jokic, the way he just like chucks that thing up the court. Champion with a great catch.
Yeah, no, and it was not a lot of space, so nice effort to corral
Casey
it.
McLaren gets called for the push-off, giving it right back to the Corsairs.
And despite that highly vaunted effort, we'll come back the other way. Dalen Sanders Dyer once again. He's been leading this team from the point. A quick drive to his left. There's a call. Couldn't get the layup to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Theo Henry with the bump as he went to finish.
It's on the shot, so he'll take 2 at the line here.
They gave it to Champion. That's an interesting call. Theo Henry has a sly smirk on his face, knowing he got away with the call there.
Sanders Dyer with his first chances from the line here tonight. He'll make good on the first one.
Jumbo's going to go back to the starting lineup with the exception of Casey McLaren in for Truman Gettings. Try and close this one out.
Both will go.
Full court press on for the Corsairs. Aronson in a bit of trouble.
Aronson forced to call a timeout in the corner. A lot of bumping back and forth. Aronson walks through this quick to stand UMass Dartmouth bench. As the press and the intensity have gone up.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, and it's interesting. The Corsairs come with the press as soon as the Jumbos go back to their front unit. It's as if the second unit for the Jumbos, with Maracas and Champion and Theo Henry bring the ball up, they were able to break through that press, no problem. But time and time again, we've seen this front unit have trouble breaking through the Corsairs' full court press.
Yeah, no, and I mean, they're going for a press that really traps in the corners, and when they get that there, you know, they've got 2 guys on Aronson in the corner, and then Marcial closing off that baseline pass. He really has nowhere to go with it, and he's forced to call that timeout. They're going to have to try to come at this press a different way because it is not working right now.
I mean, you know, the good thing about this schedule is after the Harvard game and after next weekend, they got like 2 weeks without a game, so they can work on breaking the full court press because when you're on the road at the Middlebury team, the way they press, you're going to need to be able to break it like they did on this play.
Yeah, they made it look pretty easy there, speaking of. Stewart now, pump fake, wants another bucket, taps it again, 2 rebounds, Stewart bucket.
Here's your double-double for Robbie Stewart. The career night just keeps getting better and better as the Jumbos starting to put this one on ice.
Stewart, 2 rebounds and a basket. He is having, as you mentioned, a career night in almost every category. Meanwhile, Theo Jadot gets a nice finish on him the other end. UMass Dartmouth, after being broke down on the last play, they're coming out of this press, but Leonard always bringing the intensity on defense. High-octane defender. He stays up on Cohen. Aronson has the ball around the logo.
Wants a pick. Doesn't get it. Gets it to Thorner, who got his pocket picked there. And almost half asleep the way he finished that.
Sanders Dyer with an easy finish on the other end. Izionu playing defense here on Aronson. It's his first minutes of the game. Corner, Casey McLaren, 3-ball, no. Theo Jadot had the rebound, but Aronson fights for it and gets it.
Stewart with the board. He's got 13 boards, and a foul is called. I don't know who they call that on. And very clearly, it should be a shooting foul because the Jumbos are in the double bonus. As Tyler Aronson is motioning and Dylan Thorner now.
Looks like they might ref asking for a reset on the shot clock.
Okay, so that would
Maybe
be.
that's the call, because otherwise, as you mentioned, they'd be taking free throws, but I don't think it's a foul. Carson Cohen up top. Sanders Dyer playing tight defense on him. Extends a little bit of an elbow, pulls up from 3, no. Casey McLaren with a great effort to knock it down. He was 1-on-3 in the post and gets the rebound. Dylan Thorner has it outside. Stewart, Jadot wanted it. Stewart drives in. They're going to call a blocking foul.
Yeah, good effort there by Sanders Dyer, but he could not get himself outside of the restricted area before Bobby Stewart went up.
Yeah, and that's a smart choice when you've got a guy like Bobby Stewart driving down and you know you have that size advantage to go for the charge. He got set in time, but as you mentioned, inside the restricted.
I mean, it's a smart choice for him. My smart choice would be to get out of the way and just let Bobby have the dunk because, you know, he's giant and fast and can finish with ferocity.
My smart choice would be never to step on a court with these guys. Stewart can't get the first one to fall.
Yeah, for all the Jumbos have had these starters back on the court here, they have not put this game away yet. It is still only a 13-point game.
And Stewart with a fruitless trip to the stripe.
And then you cannot do that if you're Casey McLaren. You cannot foul Percy 100 feet from the basket and let them get 2 shots at the free throw line without the clock running. That is inexcusable.
Yeah, no, I mean, Isaac Percy, not exactly a super effective free throw shooter so far this season. He's shooting around 58%, but still, that is not a smart foul to give up. But Percy won't get the first one.
And Casey McLaren, that will be his night as they want Theo Henry in for both ball handling and free throw shooting purposes.
Calling out, I got shooter. Percy, no need because he knocks down that free throw with ease. Sees Aronson in the corner, back to Cohen. UMass Dartmouth pressing, but not really with that same intensity that we saw. It's more of a sort of stay off half court, apply a little pressure.
It's almost surprising. It is only a 4-possession game.
Thorner outside. John Martins playing tight defense on him. Wants a swing, gets it off of Stewart. Sees Stewart back. Stewart, can't get this bucket. Wants his own rebound. Gets it eventually. 3 guys playing pressure on him. Isaac Percy almost had it, but Stewart ends up with the board once again. Carson Cohen will reset for the Jumbos, trying to take some time off this clock. Thorner now. Isaac Percy all over him.
Double dribble call on Dylan Thorner. He looks around in confusion.
Yeah, and whether or not you agree with that call, that is a result of really smothering half-court defense all play from UMass Dartmouth. They're forcing him to bobble it. No guy's really ever open. That's what they've been trying to do all night. John Martins. Isaac Percy dribbles to his left. Wants a mid-ranger. Got it.
Timeout, UMass Dartmouth. 10-point game here.
Single-digit game.
And what had looked to be a comfortable Jumbo win about 2 minutes ago is a lot less comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, this UMass Dartmouth team is a team that lost, the only shared opponent this year is MIT. They lost MIT by 6. Tufts had really just really an immaculate game against MIT.
They put up 100.
They put up 100 for the first time since 2012. 30-point win. They look great. If they were expecting that same kind of performance here today, UMass Dartmouth has not been giving it to them so far.
Well, I think it's a combination of 2 things. It's UMass Dartmouth showed up today. They've played probably, even though they probably aren't going to win this game, this might be their best performance of the year. They came in to a very tough place to play against a very good Jumbos team and have put up points. But the fact of the matter is the Jumbos have not gotten a good enough defensive performance. They just haven't. They've this second half defensive performance has left a lot to be desired. There's been way too many open threes, way too many drives to the basket, and way too many unnecessary fouls.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about open threes. That's the one thing that has really allowed UMass Dartmouth to stay in it is their really efficient shooting. They're shooting 71% from the line, significantly better than their usual mark. They're shooting a brilliant 54% from three. Really, where they've given up this lead is in rebounds. I mean, they have a 19 rebound deficit and a 9 offensive rebound deficit. That's been the difference maker for Tufts.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd point to 2 names on that. It's Bobby Stewart and Truman Gettings.
Yep, for sure. Tyler Aronson now.
Between the two of them, there's your 19 rebounds.
For sure. Yeah, those have definitely been the big paint presences for the Jumbos. Thorner now, speaking of Stewart, he has it. He'll swing. Cohen doesn't want a 3. Isiano on him. Goes up, gets a layup. Nicely done.
Yeah, Carson Cohen quietly with a nice night. Good finish there for Junior.
Aronson now bringing it up.
Jumbos can bring this down to about 40 seconds here if they let this shot clock run. Thorner open.
Thorner draws a lot of contact. He's sandwiched between Judot and Percy driving into the lane. It looks like Percy will be the one who draws the foul from the outside, sending Thorner to the line.
Truman Gettings coming in. Bobby Stewart, whose career night was a pleasure to watch, done for the day. Thorner looking to add to his score total. Makes it 19 on the night for him. Jumbos lead back up to 12, under a minute to go.
Leonard now has the ball. Up top. Judot wants a mid-ranger. Gets it. He's fairly efficient from that spot, especially tonight. And that'll make it a 10-point game with 46 seconds to play.
Linton going to call a timeout as Carson Cohen's having trouble getting that ball in.
Yeah, I mean, Tufts fairly safe 10-point lead here with 46 seconds, but I'm knocking on the wood as I'm saying that because with this press that UMass Dartmouth has been putting on pretty effectively, we can see a big lead change quick, and they really want to be able to break this down for these last 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the question I have of the UMass Dartmouth coaching staff is you had a 12, you were down 12 with 3 minutes to go. You had a press that was working, and you go away from it for 2 minutes and then bring it back down 10 with a minute to go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tufts had that one really nice break off the sideline inbound, and I guess maybe thought you would switch it up for a minute and then bring it back, but yeah, it was working effectively, and I was also surprised to see him stop going to that. Thorner can't get open. Martin's all over him.
Oh, that's such a
Forced
smart
to throw
play.
a swing pass to Henry, who goes up top to Thorner. Martin's still on him tightly. Gets a poke away. Martin's Jr. been a defensive leader all night. Theo Henry up top. Percy on him.
UMass Dartmouth knocking a foul.
Cohen, 3, ice. That's called icing a game.
That is icing a game, and that is for the first time this season. The Jumbos get 5 guys in double figures.
John Martins tries to answer, won't go.
Jumbos will get it across the timeline, and this will be final from Cousins.
Looks like UMass Dartmouth is going to D up to the buzzer. Cohen, Leonard on him. 2 seconds to play. That's your game. Your Tufts Jumbos 90, UMass Dartmouth Corsairs 77. Thank you so much for tuning in to this JumboCast broadcast. Please don't go anywhere because hopefully we'll be back in just a couple minutes with an interview for one of these Tufts bigs that played so well tonight. Obviously, Gettings and Stewart dominating in the post. UMass Dartmouth playing great full court defense, managed to get a couple threes, shot the ball well, but Tufts comes out with the win, 90-77. Their next game is against Harvard tomorrow on the road. Thanks so much, and again, stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute with an interview, hopefully.
Hey, I'm here post-game after a dominant Jumbos win with the player of the game, Bobby Stewart. Bobby, career night for you. Tell us how that feels.
I mean, it's the work we put in every day. I'm not doing anything different. My teammates trusted me, I trusted them, and I was the one to do it today. But game in, game out, we're all trusting each other, and tonight was my night, but it was fun.
Yeah, speaking of teammates, you and Truman had gotten a bit of criticism after the St. Joe's game for some trouble on the boards, and then you guys come out absolutely killing on the boards. You guys plus 20 on the boards, equal to the rebounding margin. What was that, a sense of extra motivation tonight?
For sure, that was definitely our main point of focus coming into the game after Tuesday. We couldn't rebound on Tuesday, plain and simple. That's why we lost that game, and today we said we were done with that. So we're coming in, we're the biggest guys in the gym, we got to grab some boards, and we did, so it felt good.
I mean, you guys are the biggest guys in the gym, but you pass like your guards. I mean, it's so rare to see something like that. Is that something you guys just work on and practice, that like backdoor cut play?
That's just my favorite part of basketball is passing the ball. It's the best, getting a good assist, and all the teammates get hype. It's fun. Yeah, and me and Truman, we've got that good two big high-low twin tower thing. It's great. So.
And last question for you. Obviously, you guys have the big game tomorrow at Harvard against a D1 school. What's the mentality going into that?
We're just going to go in there and play our game, try our best. We're going to play hard, and we're just going to go out there and see what happens. Anything's possible.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a presentation of JumboCast. I'm Riley Daniel for David Latham, Scott Platt, Tawny Stinson, and Henry Stahl. Thank you and good night.